Alright, hello everyone. We're here and ready to jump into match 1 with Bloodbraid Elves. What's this look like? So, this hand's not particularly exciting. If we lose our Elvish Mystic, hand's really slow. Having 2 Azuris not far from a mulligan, and 3 lands is also realistically on the top end of what we want. We really don't want to draw a 4th, so I'm going to mulligan this hand and hope for a better one. There we go, that's much better. 2 mana dorks and 2 payoff cards, much more exciting. Our opponent, the sad meme frog, has also mulliganed to 6. There we go, so I'm going to put this Overgrown Tomb on the bottom. We've already got 4 mana sources, we don't really want to draw too many more that aren't creatures. Alright, so I'm going to start with... I'm just going to fetch up a forest. We don't need our black or red sources because the only spells that they matter for are the Bloodbraid Elf and the Shamans of the pack. Although there might end up being situations where we want to play multiple Shamans in a turn. But in the dark, I'm going to try and preserve my life total as much as possible and go for an Elvish Mystic because we have this Elves of Deep Shadow to make our extra black mana. Shambling Event. So this implies either Abzan or some sort of Black-White Eldrazi deck to me, both of which are decks I'm pretty happy to play against. And there we go. Elvish Archdruid. Absolutely our best turn 2 play, because it really sets us up for a really explosive turn 3 if they don't have the ability to get it off the board. Ghost Quarters. This is definitely going to be Eldrazi taxes. And there we go, we see Thalia, but that's fine because we have 5 mana in play already to cast our Collected Company, and it shouldn't be too hard to go over the top of their random creatures. So I'm going to start by just playing out the Dorks because they're effectively free off the Archdruid. And actually I should do that because, well, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to main phase cast the Collected Company because there's nothing they can do about it. Bit of an underwhelming hit. I'm just going to get the 2 elves that tap for mana on their own because we already have a Heritage Druid. And then put the rest on the bottom. And pass the turn. Not a bad turn 3 really, is it? What's our opponent got? Ether Vial. Having to cast that after your Thalia is really quite awkward and is probably going to be too slow. There we go. Archdruid's an excellent draw because that means that we can attack all of our creatures into the Thalia and Thalia can't do anything about it. So we're just going to attack with our team and then we can finish our opponent off with the Shaman of the pack next turn. And our opponents scooped it up early because they've got nothing they can do about it. Alright, so how do we want to sideboard, if anything? Thoughtseize isn't really something we care about. And although our opponent is fundamentally a creature deck, they're already so far behind us in terms of how powerful their creatures can be that it's not the sort of matchup where I want to try and interact with them. So the only sort of cards I can see being useful are the Lead the Stampedes and maybe the Evolutionary Leap. But to be honest, I'm not really of the opinion that any of that's necessary. I think they're not going to play any sort of sweeper effect, which is where Evolutionary Leap can be at its best. So I think I'm just going to run back the same 60. Yeah, let's go for it. Alright, game 2, what have we got? Okay, so on the draw, this is the sort of hand I quite like keeping. You've got some good card advantage cards in the Collected Company and the Visionary, and if we draw a land, we can play Heritage Druid and Dwindler's Elite on turn 2 and go nuts. So I'm definitely keeping this hand and hoping that our Llanowar Elves doesn't get pushed off the cliff on turn 1, which with no Aethervar start is looking increasingly likely. We have got the Elves with Deep Shadow as a backup though, so it's not going to be a complete disaster. Our opponent didn't pass through the turn immediately, so... Ooh! No removal. Well, this is excellent for us if we draw a land. If not, we still get to deploy the Deep Shadow and the Heritage Druid. Tidehollow Sculler. Alright. They're probably going to take the Heritage Druid here. And we'll just have to live with that. They could be tempted into taking Collected Company, but I think that's a mistake. Because without this hand, without the Heritage Druid, the hand's quite slow. Without drawing lands. Well, they took the Collected Company. Okay, well, let's draw a land. Perfect. Guiltleaf Palace, revealing Heritage Druid. Start with the Heritage Druid. And then the Dwindler's Elite. Because we need to play the 1-drop mid-combo in order to not fizzle. Fizzle's the wrong word, but we need to play a 1 in the middle in order to keep going. Actually, no, not Visionary. We need to play Dwindler's Elite first, sorry. A little bit rusty. I haven't played Elves in a little while because I've been too busy trying to play blue decks, but this is going well enough so far that I think I might be tempted back. Alright, let's go for another 1-drop. There we go. Right, we've played our entire hand on turn 2. Off you go, opponent. And this is the sort of fun you get to play with us. Oh, there we go, the turn 3 Ether Vial again. Isn't our opponent lucky? Right, Guiltleaf Palace doesn't do anything for us, so we're going to attack with the team. If he blocks, we get to Pendlehaven, or trade off and get our company back. The next turn, if we don't just have lethal. Oh, he's got a path. Sure. Well, I will get one of my forests. Eat a Tidehollow Sculler. And get Collected Company back for next turn. And pass a turn. Is he going to Thought Not See me? This looks like a Thought Not Seer. Okay, well, we don't get to keep our company. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 power. So this does mean we're going to get him down to 1 this turn with a Pendlehaven activation. And with no sweeper, he's going to really struggle to clear his way through. Three. He blocks 2 power, yes. He's going to need a lot of creatures to block enough damage, because he can only let 2 creatures through next turn, thanks to the Pendelhaven. Right, Path there, sure, that's fine. Let's get our second forest. Matter Reshaper. I mean, he can only play 2 creatures, so he's going to be able to be gone wide over. There we go. Nice win to start us off. And hopefully we'll get some Bloodbraids going in the next game. So join me back for the next video for match 2.